The Nigerian government recently launched a student loan scheme that seeks to improve the chances of students obtaining quality tertiary education. Now, the news inspired hope across the country, and its terms of application was both knocked and praised by critics. In this story, Just Nigeria's Mercy Frank engaged stakeholders in the education sector to understand how the new student loan scheme will impact students, its real cost, and what students need to do to cut a good deal.
We have just signed a bill proclaiming the student loan effectively.
To some, it's a lifeline.
Up till now, I've not paid my school fees, and the school portal has been open for more than a month now.
It should get to those that are targeted, not a situation where the children of the rich are the one who are also able to access the student loan.
Since student finishes, which market are they going to? Who's going to employ them? What skill are they getting?
Read the terms and conditions, and the main one is that you are going to need to pay this back at some point.
Nigeria's new National Education Fund, a ladder or tightrope? A study published at the UNESCO Institute for Statistics at the 2022 World Higher Education Conference indicates that while the global gross enrollment ratio for tertiary education increased from 19% in year 2000 to 40% in 2020, it is only in Africa that the ratio has remained under 20%, with an average enrollment rate currently at 9.4%. Nigeria's National Universities Commission puts the number of universities in Nigeria at over 264, with about 2 million students. Education is seen as a stepping stone to a brighter future. But for millions of young Nigerians, the cost of higher education can be an insurmountable hurdle.
So the Student Loan Fund is accessible to Nigerians who have the capacity, the ability, and the desire, and of course, the admission into tertiary institutions in Nigeria owned by either the federal government of Nigeria or the subnationals.
It is a pilot scheme being tested across the country. At Bayero University, Kano, Tosin Taye is a student leader. With other siblings in the university like him, his parents' resources are spread thin.
I said I need to apply so that I will know how this thing is actually being processed. They disbursed the money to my school already, and they even give them the additional 200 million that if there's any potential student willing to later apply.
At University of Lagos, like Tosin, Emmanuel Akindele, a quantity surveyor in training, has had to fend for himself at different points in his educational journey. Yet, he is opting not to take the loan.
I don't like the idea of owing or loans. I don't like the idea of that too.
At the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Cosmos Maduagu studies political science. His financial capacity is no different from Emmanuel's. He is also choosing not to sign the dotted lines.
It has a long process to apply for those loans. You have to meet your departmental president, HOD, your teachers. So many signatures have to go through this thing.
The scheme is designed to ensure no students drop out of school due to lack of funds. But how accessible is the loan and what is required?
The BVN, the NIN, the JAMB number, the matriculation number, and if they're a new student, the admission number.
We need to gather data to make sure that we're considering gender, economic background, courses that are being applied for.
And with every loan comes payback time.
It's not a scholarship. It's not a grant. At some point, the system will say, when are you going to start paying back? But again, let me make a very quick clarification. We do not expect payback from people who don't have jobs. We do not expect payback from people who don't have an income.
I'm a bit concerned to call it outright investment in human capital because it's a credit. So the training itself, the training is the human capital development. That is student learning skills, student having access to knowledge in the university is what is the real human capital access they have. And all of those skills are meaningless if they will not translate to employment.
It's not yet very clear because we know this is funds coming from the taxpayers' money. So we just need to begin to understand how is it going to track towards economic viability.
We still want to go on with the old method and pump more money in the hand of students, which I'm not saying is wrong, but the foundation is destroyed. Does it mean our students will now be better off?
We see a lot of students leaving for greener pastures. So they'll get their education and then they'll leave Nigeria. And so how are they going to repay?
He has solved Nigerian school system. In fact, parents that have heard about it that have high blood pressure, their blood pressure have ramped to the normal level.
What structures will government put on board to ensure that the money exactly goes to those students and there is no coming back to give something to those people?
But at the end of the day, the children of big men or other well-connected people will be pushed there, and then those who really need this loan will not access it.
Some students also share their perspectives.
The kind of allocation that is being given to even education in the Nigerian budget is very low.
School fees was increased from a particular amount to like over 5 times, I guess, and there was not so much change. One would expect that there would be like twice or triple the change that you would expect, to have happened in the school. But I mean, there's not so much.
It's just a way to remove the subsidy on education without making people protest.
I think it is a short-time solution to a long-time problem. It will eventually turn into a long-term problem.
Beyond the loans, a huge gap fueling Nigeria's soaring unemployment exists.
Today's modern world requires a new set of skills for students to unlock, potential employment and job creation. Our universities don't offer that. Some of them include IT skills, digital literacy skills.
The challenges that we're facing in Nigeria's education sector starts from foundational learning, basic education, and then by the time a child does not have a strong foundation in any of those, are you really teachable when you get to the university level?
My advice to students all around Nigeria that may want to participate in this is to look beyond the student loan and get real skills that are marketable, such that when they leave the university, they can compete and be at the edge in terms of employment, such that paying the money back will become with relative ease.
The student loan seems to hold the power to unlock the potential of millions of Nigerian students like Tosin, Emmanuel, and Cosmos. As the fate of the country's workforce hangs in the balance, stakeholders want a total revamp of the education system so that every student, regardless of gender, ethnicity, or financial background, gets to bring something to the table. Mercy Frank, Gist Nigeria.
Indeed, no society develops without educating its people. Have you or your loved ones applied for a student loan? Tell us about the application process on X at Gist Nigeria TV. We would like to hear from you.